Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the market close. This is Thursday, February 19th, and we do have a green day. So that's something. That's something. The US, not so lucky. They're having a red day. We're going to look at all of that here in a moment. Before we got some business to take care of. We got Wealthsimple. So Wealthsimple, guys, they have a contest on right now. You can spin a gold coin every day. And this little gold coin right here at the bottom of their screen. And when you do, you win entries. So what you're playing for is they're giving away 15, I believe it's 15, yeah, 15 gold coins in March, beginning of March. I don't know the exact date, guys, but every time you spin, you get entries. Anywheres from I don't know if the one, it might be 10, might be the lowest. Nobody's gotten lower than 10 as far as I know, but from 10 to 100,000 entries. Yesterday, Streamer Luck kicked in. I got 60,000 on the air. Today, let's see. I have spun it and I got 100. All right. Well, I've heard a lot of people after getting big ones coming back and getting a 10 the next day. So I'll take 100. I will take 100. So I'm adding up my entries. I'm hoping to win a coin. I'm going to be realistic. I may not win a coin, but guys, let me know in the comments what you guys got. And if you are like, what the heck is Wealthsimple? And what is this contest here? I'm going to drop a link here in the chat. So this here is my affiliate link for Wealthsimple. So they're a commission-free broker, one of the easiest brokers to use for new folks. They're really good for new investors. You know what? You just sign up using this link. Once you fund your account, they'll actually give you they'll give you 25 bucks free. You don't even have to spin to get that. They will also throw 25 at the channel, which is a good way to help support me at the same time. So definitely check that out, guys. And let's see if one of our community can win a coin. I want one of you guys to win. So the more of you that jump on the Wealthsimple, the more chances we'll all have collectively. Um, I don't know. My bet, if one of us is going to win, I'm going to bet on Tom. I'm going to bet on Tom or Scott. Oh gosh, or Mary. I'm betting on all of yous, guys. All of yous. There we go. All right, whoops, that's not the market. There we go. Okay. That's on me. That is on me. All right, let me do this and let me actually bring in the page. I knew I forgot something. I'm going to blame it on last night. We had a long stream last night. We did the 10,000 sub celebration screen. So we were playing games here all last night. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. And we discovered that Lance is pretty much unbeatable. He's like a robot when it comes to the financial trivia and stuff like that. Really good, really good. I would put Lance on a trivia team any day of the week for sure, because he absolutely dominated last night. But anyway, looking at the market, as we can see over here, this is the TSX, believe it or not. Yep, it is. We are currently up 0.46%, and we'll take it. We're actually not that far off from all-time highs. So yeah, the Canadian market doing pretty darn good. We are having a very good March thus far. Yes, it's volatile, but especially the beginning. Look at this. We had some volatility, nice. Volatility, nice. So does that mean next week we could get some more volatility? We'll see. But we're going to see what happens. But for now, we're well above this blue line. And those of you who are like, well, what's that? That's a blue line. That line is where we entered the month. So as long as we're above it, we're in a green month. If we go below it, we're in a red month. So we are doing fantastic. And right now, year to date, the TSX is up 5.18%. So that's not too shabby. Now, if we look south of the border, They are having a red day on the S&P 500. They are down 0.47. They're also not doing great on the month. They are in a red month. As you can see, they've got a blue line too, and they're below it. So they're on the wrong side of the line. Same deal with the NASDAQ, who is also, oh, the NASDAQ's suffering a bit today. Wait till you see some of these heat maps. So the NASDAQ down 0.67%. So, and they're deep. They're deep in the red this month. I don't know if the NASDAQ can survive. There's one hope left for the NASDAQ this month, and it is next Wednesday. And it is called NVIDIA earnings. So if NVIDIA can somehow rally the investors around them next week, that could save the NASDAQ. But if they don't, we could see a deeper plunge in the NASDAQ. So be prepared for that. And we'll be here. We'll be here next week. We'll watch it live on the air. So it'll be fun. And we also have the Dow Jones. The Dow Jones is on the green side. So the Dow Jones is having a pretty good, I don't know if I'd call it a good day, but they're having a solid day. They're having a solid day. They may be in the red, but month-wise, yeah, month-wise they're doing fine. And we got the Russell. The Russell right now is the only group that has a little bit of green today. They're up 0.04. So that's, I mean, it's not a lot. It's not a lot, but they're also well above that blue line. So once again, so basically Dow Jones Industrials, Russell, both of them in the green for February. The NASDAQ and the S&P, they've got some work to do. Now, today, one of the things that certainly helped Canada is commodities were doing okay. Well, most of them. So the ones, the big ones, so gold is up 0.41, silver up 1.51. Copper pretty flat. They're down a little bit right now, 0.08, and same with platinum, down 0.05. But oil's looking pretty good. Oil today up 2.86 for the West Texas Intermediate. So that's not too shabby. And Bitcoin actually, yeah, Bitcoin kind of up a little bit, a tiny bit. So Bitcoin sitting currently at 66,000 and it's up 0.70 on the day. Ethereum down a wee bit. Okay, time to go to the heat maps. Yeah, the Canadian heat map actually doesn't look that bad. You look at the banks are all doing pretty good for the most part. You've got like CIBC, who's up 1.6, BMO's up 0.5%, Scotiabank's up 0.25%. But then you got like the Royal Bank and TD, they're both down just a tiny bit. And National Bank also down just a tiny bit as well. So interesting day for sure. When we look at our minerals, most of our minerals are up. You can see Barrick Gold up 0.65. Cameco doing good today, up 1.65. And our oil companies, look at this. Canadian Natural Resources up 2.38. Imperial Oil up. Suncor up. Our pipelines turned it around the last couple of days. We've been seeing some struggles on the pipes, but Enbridge up 1.29. Pembina up 9.97. Both railroads. Look at this. CNR once again 0.35. Let's open CNR for a second, guys. So CNR, they've been like, look at this. Let's actually go to I'm actually going to go to their year to date. So year to date right now, CNR is up 10.31%. So we are starting to see a little bit of recovery there. I'm liking that because I know I hold them in the 0 to 100K challenge, and they have been in the negative now for so long. So it is really good to see this with CNR. All right, now let's get ready for the red. We're going to go to the United States now. And here we go. We got a lot of red. You can see technology. It's not super red, but it's red nonetheless. You got Microsoft down 0.66, Apple down a full 1.43. Nvidia's down a tiny bit. I'll call Google flat. I'm calling Google flat. Tesla also a little on the flat side, down 0.22. Do we have any real big winners? Not really. I'd say a pretty modest day. Even some of the health stocks have lately been kind of acting as safe havens. So Eli Lilly flat. They're not helping out today. They're at 0.02. Johnson & Johnson perhaps a little bit better, up 0.72. Looking at crypto. Oh boy. Now this here, you can see we got a little bit of green on the Bitcoin, but everybody else a little bit in the dumpsters. But because we got a green day on Bitcoin, we're going to take a look at our crap coin of the day, and let's go a little deep. We're going to just grab a red coin nice and deep down the rabbit hole. Let's grab this. I don't know what this is. Let's see what we got. Boom, bang, and oh, I got to move my head to the middle so that we can see it. All right, we got the Sear network. I do not know what the Sear network is. Of course, as soon as I see Sear, I think of Cerberus, but well, they seem to be heading in that direction because, you know, Cerberus is the dog that guards Hades. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what this coin does. I think what it will do is it will sear your wallet free of any kind of money you got left there. It's not worth much. It's worth like a fraction of a penny. So I don't know what this does. It could be a game. It could be a rug pull. It could be anything. There's a lot of things it could be. If you're interested in any of these crap coins, and I call them crap coins because they're like going to the casino, throwing the dice, and well, you know, you don't normally win. And you probably are not going to win with Sear coin. I could be wrong, though. I always want to throw that out there. Sometimes some of these altcoins will actually do okay, but you want to do your homework big time. Like, this is even more risky than a penny stock. So do your homework, read the white paper, maybe check out the developers on social media, find out what's going on, what this coin's about. Make sure it makes sense. But honestly, if you want to make money in Bitcoin, stick to your big coins. Stick to your Bitcoin, your Ethereum, your XRP, Solana, Cardano, and gosh darn it, even the Dogecoin. All right, before we hit the chat here, let's get right back to the TSX, and let's jump over to Big Me and see what's going on in the chat. All right, we've got Brian in here first. Good afternoon, everyone. I'll be here when the hockey game is over. All right, now I know the women are playing today. I don't know. Is this the semifinal? Let me know what this one is, and let me know. I think I heard sounds. So I don't know. Did they lose? Oh, what's going on? Oh gosh. Stan says, hello all. We got Isaiah in the house with a hiya. Good afternoon, everyone from Lance, and Paul is here with a good afternoon. Sid Boy says, hi. Good afternoon, everyone. Mario, good afternoon, everyone. Sold my canny. All right, so you got out a canny. Nice. Canny, and I've been vocal about canny. I've been disappointed with canny, and I'll tell you why. Because the Canadian market's been doing so well that I just can't see why canny isn't. So I have a hard time. Like, I have a general rule. Like, I like cover call ETFs. I like, you know, especially out of the money ones, because I like to get a little bit of both. I like that growth and income. But here's the thing. If you have a covered call ETF and it's going in the opposite direction of the market, I'm not a fan. I won't put it in my portfolio. So there needs to be a certain level of reliability. Now, in all fairness, canny is new. There's lots of time for Evolve to come in and rebalance it, and I hope they do. I hope they get canny to work right, because now, and here's the thing. I don't know if it's a situation where they've just got the cover calls tuned up way too high, perhaps. Maybe. So we'll see. We'll judge canny when they get to a year. We'll give them a good judgment. There we go. Scott is in the house with a good afternoon. Paul got 20 today. Abby says, good afternoon, all. Overtime. Oh boy. So somewhere's in these comments, because I'm behind. So I'm about 15 minutes behind in the comments. So The results are probably already posted in my comments. So right now, it's still tied in overtime in my world. Tom got a lowly 20 today. We got Mary in the house with a hello all. And guys, Mary is our official captain of the like button. So if you have not yet hit the like button on your way in, now's your opportunity. Just give it a good old click. Turn it blue. It certainly helps the channel quite a bit. And we're having right now we have low numbers, and that's because there's a hockey game on. So let's see where we are. I was gonna say let's get to 20 quickly because I'm like we don't have a lot of people in here right now yet. We're at 20 right now. Let's get to 30 then. Let's get to 30. We'll go from there. All right. Stan says I got 60. And oh wait, I get to have a sip of coffee as well when Mary comes in. Oh gosh, so good. Lance says Walmart is tanking as everyone is rotating out of defensives into metals and oils. I'm not selling at a loss, just going to dollar cost average down until it goes back up. Let's actually, Lance, I need to see how, because we were waiting on those earnings reports. And look at this. Here's their earnings right here. It's green. So they beat on earnings by 1.81%, and they beat just a little bit on revenue by 0.09. But nonetheless, this is kind of that interesting lesson. Well, here, it is actually interesting. Look, you see this gap right in here? I don't know if you can see it. If you're on your phone, you probably can't see it. You'll have to take my word for it. There's a little gap from where we closed yesterday and where they opened today. So they did go up, which is what you would expect, of course, when you have some good earnings. But they fell. They lost the entire everything they gained at open. They lost it all, and now they're down. So down right now at 124.86. But they made it all the way up to 130 at one point earlier today. So yikes. Oh boy, yeah. Well, this is kind of one of these things, Lance. This is a fundamentally sound company. They're very popular. I'm not concerned about Walmart. So yeah, if you've got the luxury that you can just hold it, average down, you'll be fine. All right. Tom says tough to squeeze anything out of the trades today, but IVN came through. Nice. So yeah, we were looking. And here, let's just pull up IVM. I've got IVM over on the swing list. Here we go. Here's IVN right here. So IVN, interestingly enough, so they had earnings as well. And I was a little surprised. So when you look at their earnings, well, here's the problem. Even though they exceeded in their earnings, they beat it by 25.83%. But their revenue was down 14.95%. And investors, they kind of didn't like it. But that's fine. They just basically came back down to the support, and they're on their way back up again now. So we'll see where they're going. We didn't get this. We were hoping for this, that yellow line, but we didn't get it. We'll see. It might just be a situation where maybe they'll break out when they come. We'll move the yellow line down. Maybe they'll break out when they get back up here. We'll see. We'll see what happens, but I still like IVN quite a bit. And we're in a good area to get in for a trade for sure. All right. Let's see. Lance says it was all the years of watching Price is Right and Wheel of Fortune when I was a kid. Trained my whole life for last night. Yeah. And guys, we had a special goat last night. So we had a party goat. So those of you who weren't able to make it to the stream, I'm going to show you the party goat. Let's just give me a second here. Let me pull up the party goat. Here we go. And yeah, the new one, whatever, for some reason it mutes my mic. All my other goats don't mute my mic. But that was our party goat, guys. So that was kind of cool. All right, now, let's see. Where were we? Up here. All right. Ian. Every so often, Ian, you get me to say Conway Twitty, but Ian says, hi all. ENCL and Utes made it a green day for me today. Yeah, like oil. Oil had a fantastic day for sure. Paul, yesterday I had $5 of cash, so I bought 4 shares of MMY. Is up 3.48% today. HDIV up today. Nice. Brian is still buying CNR. And Wahipple, hey, got here late. Well, welcome, welcome. Amrit says, what's your thoughts with ETF HEQL, and what do you think in combination to XEQT? I saw JJ and Adrian talking about it on a video. So XEQT, obviously that's going to be your dividend growth version because you're not getting a lot of dividends, but you're going to get that full upside there. Now, HEQL, that is, well, it's basically your leveraged version of this, and you're also getting, I believe this one, I don't know what the covered calls on it are, but you are getting that all equity exposure, but you're also getting that income in there as well. And I do like the fund. I think it's a pretty safe covered call fund. I'm pretty sure I've got a dividend, sorry, I'm pretty sure I got a video. I'm pretty sure I have a video on HEQL. I got a lot of videos as we're actually the channel, we're getting close to 500 videos on the channel right now, so that's crazy. But yeah, I like them both for two different reasons. So yeah, if you're in that dividend growth, so if you're looking for the growth, XEQT, hard to beat. Some people really like FEQT as well, so that's the Fidelity version because it gives you a little bit of crypto exposure in there as well. But I think they're both good. I mean, obviously one for income, one for growth. Doorpat says, hi all. What happened today? Are we getting a war in 10 days? A war in 10 days? I don't know. I will tell you, I have not had a chance to really look too much at the news. I looked at a little bit of financial news. That was about it. Today was a filming and editing day, and in fact, the video I filmed today, it's a little longer, so I'm not even finished the editing yet. This one's going to spill into tomorrow, but I am excited for it. So this is going to be the Tuesday video. I get one question I hear everywhere in the covered call community, is people going on about return of capital. So I decided, let's make a video about return of capital. So that will be coming up on Tuesday, and it's going to be a big one. Talk a little bit about how covered calls work, talk about what return of capital is. You know, is it that dreaded? You know, everybody talks about it, NAV erosion. We're going to find all of that out in the Tuesday video. Channel members will be able to see it on Monday. Wahipple says, I get why you didn't compare. Oh, okay. I get why you didn't compare VDY with CWIN. VDY totally passive, even its distribution. They just give you the money. What happens to be there from dividends, so it changes every month? Yeah, and part of it too. And actually, I don't want to say too much because only the channel members have seen that tomorrow's video so far. So yeah, this is in regards to tomorrow's video. So I did not compare CWIN to VDY, and there's a reason. There's one, I didn't want to complicate things. Another reason too is that CWIN is kind of its own beast, a little bit, quite a bit different than VDY because of leverage. But anyway, bring that up again if you want to on the weekend after everybody's had a chance to watch it for sure. Let's see here. Prolovia says, talk about a nail-biting game, women's gold. I don't know. I still don't know who won. So I'm hoping it's Canada, but anything can happen in overtime. That's the worst thing, is even it can be a crazy bounce off the boards. And the team that perhaps shouldn't have won can win because of any reason. So it's overtime is scary. Let's see. Wahipple, I am going to sell candy once it turns green. All right. Oh yes, and guys, we got the Financial Express on for tomorrow. If you guys want to show tomorrow, for supers, or Sorry, or for gifted subs, or a combination of the two. I was thinking of something else at the same time. So as you know, I got that 10-second video for well, for the party goat. I did make a new Monopoly goat with that. Now, I don't know if I like it. I might like the 5-second one better, but I'll show both. So once we get our first super or whatever, I'm going to show both, and you guys can sort of give me your feedback. Like if you like the new one better, we'll stick with the new one. But I don't know. I'm not. I'm indecisive. I'm indecisive on it. All right. Brian says, has anyone thrown out their Wealthsimple wallets yet? Not what I expected, but a credit card and a magnetic card holder on your phone? No thanks. I don't want to lose them in less than a week. Oh, I have not seen these Wealthsimple wallets. I think I saw the ad for them, but yeah, what can I say? Wahipple, Inti, a lemon as well. Yeah, Inti not doing good yet. Not doing good yet. I definitely want to see them improve it. Right now, I think out of that entire line, 60 is the only one that seems to be doing okay. And quite honestly, it's hard to go wrong with banks. So, and I like Evolve. I like a lot of their funds, but this one line, oh gosh, I think they really need to do a little bit of retooling. I would be so okay with them even pulling back their covered calls a tiny bit. Just let's try to get these back in order. All right, yeah, all right, there we go. Perfect, Sid. I'll try to remember that. I'll try to remember that. Brian got 80. Nice. Good afternoon, all, says AGD. Let's see. Walmart had good enough earnings, but forecasts were not great. And that can sometimes be enough to tank an earnings call. If your forward guidance sucks, even though you did great in the last quarter, it doesn't, it can sometimes really, really still hurt you. All right. Just went in the green today with Tesla going green. Red says, can you stream the hockey game? I'm pretty sure I would get a copyright. I get a copyright claim or strike if I were to do that. And in fact, here's the bad part. They would probably just completely pull the stream down, and they might not let me stream for like 24 hours. I've seen that happen to different people, so I would not even chance it. I would not even chance it. But, hey, feel free to announce in chat once we have a winner, because I'd like to know who wins. Lance says, the States is moving into place for war with Iran. Precious metals and oil is benefiting. I think that is a part of why Walmart is going down, as well as people realizing gains. Okay, fair enough. And we got 1 minute to the bell, guys. And I know Larry, Larry, who was in here yesterday, he believes that it's happening this weekend. So he believes it's going down this weekend. So let's see what happens. And I know we had that comment about, are we going to war in 10 days? Well, not us. It'll be the U.S. And here's the thing. We're kind of in this situation that if the U.S. went to war with Iran and they were like, hey, Canada, come help us out, we might just say no. We might just say no, because that relationship, it's not what it used to be. So I don't know. I'm hoping it doesn't happen. I'm hoping it doesn't happen, but odds are that it might. Now, it'll probably, I think it's going to come down to, will it be this weekend? Or 10 days would put it, next weekend? So which weekend are we going to get it? And guys, it is time. The market's closed. Turn off the alarm here. There we go. So I'm hoping it doesn't, but we'll find out. We'll find out. Lance says, what stock ETF did everyone get their first dividend from? XIC and XEI for me. My first dividend, also Fortis. Fortis was my first stock, and I think, well, now you know what? I'm just trying to remember. So I'm wondering, because soon after Fortis, excuse me, I think I went into RioCan. So there is a chance that RioCan was my first dividend, and then Fortis might have been the second or third, but because I found Canoe as well pretty fast. So, and I also found Div. Oh boy, which one of them was first? This is like asking what came first, the chicken or the egg. Okay, let's see here. You need to add to your video a small explanation of how leverage works on these covered call ETFs. Um, yeah, that would make it a lot longer. So I will say right now, this video will not have that because it's already filmed and it's not in there. I'll probably do a separate video. So I do want to do, like, I haven't done them in a while. Like, I want to do a few more explainer videos. So this is sort of like the first one that I've done this year. And I'll tell you part of the reason that I don't do a lot of these explainer videos, even though I want to, I really, really want them, nobody watches them. That's why. So this one here, this one here, I know it'll do well over time, but it won't get the same views as if I put out a video about a covered call ETF. That'll blow this one away. But this one will continue to get views, you know, year after year after year. Plus, this is one that I can actually put a link. So if I get somebody in chat who's like going on about ROC, I can give them a link and say, hey, why don't you just check this video out? That might answer your questions on ROC. So I got a couple of ideas on that. But I do want to do one on leverage as well and sort of explain leverage in a lot more detail. And there's, and the leverage one will probably cover like anything leverage. So everything from, I don't know if I'll really rehash the 2x leverage funds, because I think I've done 2 videos on those, but I'll talk about covered calls with leverage and non-covered calls with leverage. And there are other ways that you can have leverage as well. So there's a form of leverage that you get with split core, for example. I can talk about that as well. But yeah, it is something I do want to do. Chad says, dipped my toes with VIDY already in the green. US leading 2-1 in the third period. Oh. All right. Okay. So is that who they're? Is this the gold medal game? Is this the gold medal? I don't know. Let's see. Crap. 2-1 US in overtime. Oh, did the US win? Is that what you're saying? So, okay. Well, that sucks. All right. Well, hopefully the men's team can beat the US. I didn't want to see that. I just wanted, like, if you remember, like, I think of the Vancouver Olympics, both the men and women took the gold. So I was like, that's what I wanted this year. Oh boy. Now you need to do the Swin video. Yeah. So, in this video, guys, if you're watching it tomorrow, it's on CWin. I think twice I accidentally called it SWin. But it's CWin. So if you hear me say SWin, it's CWin. It's CWin. It's like, it's one of those things, like sometimes if an error is so minor, it's like, oh, I'm not going to go and refilm the whole thing. And because I'd then have to re-edit the whole thing. And yeah, I mean, I suppose I could film a one little section, but I'm okay with it. I'm okay. I'm only human, so... let's see. Chad says, still waiting for my wallet and keychain. Already got a pen. Most expensive pen I own. Okay. And my most expensive pen, now it's starting to fall apart. But it's a nice little pen. This one right here. Well, when I say expensive, it didn't cost me anything. I got it for free, but it's just a nice pen. Conway says, looking forward to the covered call video. My portfolio is 2/3 covered calls. Conway. Ian. Ian. Let's see. All right. Wahipple. 60 okay at doing its job and getting a little growth. Can it beat HMAX or Bank? Kind of hard to say right now. Yeah, we need some time to see. I honestly, I think if we have a pretty strong year, I think Bank might win. I think they might. If I had to bet, I might bet on Bank only because Bank, they're not as aggressive. So you're going to get more upside with Bank than you should get with 60, but we'll see. We'll see. Let's see. Ferran had a good. Did they really? They've been having. This is like a new theme. Ferran had a good day. I want to look. I do want to look. All right. I do hold Ferran in the. Oh my God! Up another 6.71. What is going on, Ferran? Look at you go. Yeah. So look, Ferran. Once again, another big jump to the upside. I'm kind of curious, guys. I'm kind of curious here. Let me take a look here. And let's see here. Where is it? No, right here. All right. This here is the 0 to 100K challenge. And I'm just kind of curious about where Ferran is right now. 83. So the total return on Ferran is 83.54%. And that's entirely by growth because they don't have dividends. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. All right. Let's see here. Elaine is in the house. Hey, all. Just in time for the bell. What's your thought about Carney's announcement about Canada beefing up their defense sector? I know in the U.S., defense sector is huge. I think it's the right move. I do think, we have, considering the amount of resources we have, and we're talking critical minerals and we're also talking fresh water. I think it's important for Canada to be beefing up our defense, and I'm not just talking just a short-term defense buildup. I think we need to be able to defend ourselves in the future. Maybe 10 years down the road when people are warring over water. If it's 10 years, it could be 20 years, but we've got so many resources. If you've got all the stuff that everybody wants, you probably want a good defense. So I'm all for that. I believe, yeah, absolutely. And also, right now, our friends to the south are a little, I don't want to call them hostile, but I think a strong defense is pretty good. It's a pretty good idea. Paul, let's see. My wife just got back from the vet with the dog. The dog has bronchitis. Oh gosh. Let's see. X-ray exam, shot of antibiotics, puffer, and $500. I need to keep working part-time to pay for the dog or any extras. Vets are crazy expensive. Like crazy expensive nowadays. It's like, it's kind of at this point where you want to make sure your pets are getting the right amount of exercise and not eating too much because you can't afford the vet bill. We need free health care for animals too. That's what we need. Let's see here. Isaiah says, I tossed my Wealthsimple wallet immediately. Very strong magnets and credit cards don't mix well. That's true. That's true. Let's see. The thing with Iran is if the U.S. shoots first, does Article 5 apply? I don't think so. No, I don't think so. It's a situation. If the U.S. attacks somebody, it doesn't mean that everybody in NATO is all of a sudden at war with them. It's only if you get attacked. It's only if you get attacked for sure. Egg came first. Took 2 other birds to make the chicken. Yeah, well, of course it did, because obviously the very first chicken was a mutation from whatever laid it. So, Chad says the rooster came first, not the chicken nor the egg. Chad saying get pet insurance. It makes sense. It kind of does nowadays to get pet insurance. Oh boy. Wahipple. Let's see. Leverage. Basically, they borrow against the fund and buy 25% more shares to try to get more upside, but leverage works both ways. It sure does. Absolutely. That's one of the things that you have to keep in mind. Now, if you're holding something that a leverage fund long term, usually it does equal each other out. Like the leverage should cancel itself out when it goes down, goes up. It should still theoretically cancel each other out. The exception being if you have any kind of a leverage that resets. So for example, in those 2x and 3x funds, like the Beta Pro ones, they reset that leverage daily, and that will absolutely work against you. But if you have a simple fund that has 25% leverage, yeah, you fall 25% harder, but you rise 25% harder too. So if you're holding it long term, it's not something you have to worry about because it will equal it. It'll work its way out. The nice thing, I guess the nice thing about a fund like that is when you look at the length of a bear market versus a bull market, for the most part, you're going to be enjoying the ride up more than you're going to be enjoying it down. So it does still work out. But you have to, I guess you have to be kind of consistent. Let's see here. Michael says, hello, Candace. Tamarack went over $10 today. Oh, Tamarack. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. I feel like I should know what Tamarack is, but it's not ringing a bell right off the top. I'm pretty sure I've looked at it before, though. Here we go. Tamarack Valley Energy. Oh, yes, of course. TVE. All right. There we go. Now, as soon as I saw the full name, I'm like, yeah, I remember these guys. So right now, like, yeah, look at this. They're up 2.06% today, and they've been on a tear since, well, and even look at this. Liberation Day barely dented them at all. But yeah, Tamarack is doing really, really good. Now, they do have a dividend. It's not much, guys. It's like 1.6%. Looking at their back end, though, this is kind of neat. They don't have a lot of debt. So 39% debt to equity. Now, they still have, and this is, once again, I don't know when if they have dropped their earnings for Q4 yet, but these numbers may be out of date. Like, they're very close to being profitable, and I would not be surprised if they're profitable by now. I wouldn't be surprised, but until I see those numbers, I still take it with a grain of salt. But yeah, they're doing good. Now, all right, just give me a second here. Yeah, there we go. Pull that back up. So yeah, I do like them. I do like them. Let's see. Brian says, you can buy Kern now, Scott. I spent a massive 66 cents on it today. Told you I would throw change at it. All right, there we go. All right. Oh, I actually caught up. I can't believe it. I'm so used to being so far behind. Let's see. You're welcome. I'm hoping it won't affect my retirement plans. Oh, that's fun. That is fun. Absolutely. All right. Oh, gosh. I think I need some coffee here, guys. Oh, it is so good. It is really, 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 really good. Okay. I am thinking, I was actually talking to Jill last night about it. I want to do some workshops. So this is something I want to do in the future. I know people saying, hey, can you get a course? Can you get a course? Can you put a course together? I actually kind of like the idea of doing some workshops. So, looking at sort of evergreen type, it'll be evergreen topics. So one of the first ones I'm thinking about doing is, we talk a little bit about it here on the air. We talk a little bit about swing trading. The channel members get a lot of opportunity to see me in there doing a little bit of swing trading through the days. But I thought, especially for somebody who's interested in swing trading, that might be a possible good workshop. So how a workshop would be is basically, it would be like, there'd be a video or maybe 2 or 3 videos in there in one workshop. And then there'd be some activities, little things just to, maybe some practice swings, I guess. I guess we could call it that, practice swings. But yeah, put it together. There'd be a price tag on it. I don't have any idea what the pricing would be on a workshop. But the nice thing about that is, I can make it's evergreen, it sits there, and anybody who comes and wants to learn a little bit, like all of the basics, they'll have that there. Like, I'll still make videos, of course. Like, I don't do a lot of swing trading in the videos per se, but you guys can still come in and ask questions. Like, you can practically, if you ask all the right questions, you could practically get the workshop for free anyway. But this is just more of a way to get it all together in a very nice, a lot more polished. So a workshop, for example, those would be, if you look at the editing on a typical video, multiply that by 5 to 10, and that would be, yeah, that would be where we would be at for sure. All right. Wahipple says, really need a comprehensive video on leverage because there's different types of strategies. And Candace talking about that as I type. Very dry topic. I find it pretty mind-numbing. Absolutely. And yeah, we Financial Express, it's still on the track. It's still on the track. We have not yet made any progress on it today, but yeah, we still got a bit of time. Marina is in the house. Hey there. Hi all, just joined. Candace, did you talk about IVN yet? I was hoping for a different outcome on my swing trade today. Oh well, have to wait now. Yes. So, and let's actually right here, look, here it is. So yeah, we're talking a little bit about IVN. So one of the problems here is I think this is what got us. Their earnings were good. So they exceeded by 25.83%. So that's really good. But yeah, it was this revenue. The revenue was down 14.95%. That put a bit of a damper on things, but even though they fell, they've already begun their recovery here. So, you know, they're in a good spot right now. I still think, you know, they're still respecting the channel. And that's the beautiful thing. I can stretch. Whoops. Let's move that over a little bit. Let's pull this over. They're still respecting the channel. I like that. That's something I like. So yeah, there's still a good chance we can get back up here, and we could still get our breakout at that point, because it is going to break out of this channel eventually, either to the upside or the downside. I don't see it going to the downside, but let's see what happens. So yeah, hopefully you won't have that long of a ride to get ourselves back up here. So that's what I'm hoping for. Scott says, I just opened a Wealthsimple account with your link. I don't see $25. Did you get yours? I think you have to fund the account. I don't know how much. It used to be that you had to put $100 in your account before that would happen. I'm not sure if it's still that amount, but yeah. And then normally it takes a while. Like I think if you sign up, like even if you funded your account today, I don't think I would see the 25 for probably, it would be next week. It wouldn't be this week. So yeah, it does take a bit of time for sure. Lisa says, hi everyone. And let's see, Wahipple, the new TSX Venture 50 list came out last night. Oh, I have not looked at that yet. Any spoilers on that? Any spoilers on that? So yeah, because we can all need to be cheered up since Canada lost the lost to the U.S. today. So what can we say? Or at least I think you guys were saying Canada lost to the U.S. Nobody clarified it, but I think that's what happened. Let's see, the wonderful meetings of Owen. Oh, do you have a lot of wonderful meetings? That's an interesting name. Let's see, thoughts on holding CMVP, CWIN versus VDY for Canadian dividends for the long term. Now, that's an interesting question. And I'll tell you why that's an interesting question. Tomorrow's video is on CWIN. And of course, obviously, CMVP factors into it because CWIN holds CMVP. I did not bring VDY into the mix, though, for that video. So my thoughts, I like them all. That's my biggest problem, is that I do like VDY quite a bit, but I also like CMVP, and I do like CWIN. I have not done a direct comparison of CWIN to VDY to see how that is going. And, you know, yeah, it could be interesting because I will say that I'm trying to choose my words carefully because I'm trying not to spoil the video for people. But I'll just say this. I like C1 a lot, and I like VDY a lot, and I don't know if I would say, I think that you will be okay with either, to be honest. It might come down to a level of what you prefer. Now, obviously, one advantage that VDY is going to have over CWIN is, well, because CWIN has leverage, VDY, you know, you're not going to have that same bigger fall. You'll have a bigger fall with CWIN than you will have with VDY. But once again, on the way back up, CWIN will make that right back up again. So what can I say? Scott says, I'll fund it and buy some Kern. There we go. Let's see. You will make a killing buying the dip next week, Scott. Everybody is very, very, very prepared for this this war. I'm really hoping it doesn't happen. Guys, I'm hoping you're all wrong about the war. I don't think you are, but I really hope you. I hope we're all wrong. Ian says, I was talking with Wealthsimple. They said, thanks for being a client for 8 years. I forgot I got a Wealthsimple account 8 years ago, but did not fund it until 2022. Nice. Nice. If only they could give you like a gold watch or something. I don't know. All right. I look forward to that video. Yeah, absolutely. Danielle. Candace, I think you will be proud. I sold all my UMAX and bought Utes and XUT instead. I did the math and yep, you were right. All right. Yeah, absolutely. Utes is good. And XUT, well, you know, this is the nice thing, because here's the thing. Where you're splitting it up between Utes and XUT, Utes, you're not going to get a lot of upside with Utes. It's pretty much straight income. But with XUT, you're going to get nothing but upside because, yeah, I think the two of them work well together for sure. So that's a good choice. That's definitely a good choice. Holy cow. Oh, gosh. I still can't believe. I still can't believe the women let us down. How could they not beat the U.S.? Oh. Now, any of you who watched, was it a good goal or was it a bad, like, you know, a lucky goal type thing? That's what I'm kind of curious about. Because that's one of the things I don't like about overtime, is that the team that doesn't deserve to win can win because they can just, you know, bad bounce, those type of things, all that fun stuff. Oh, boy. Lisa says, I'm awaiting the earnings, let's see, report of SIA. Yeah. I like SIA. Is there earnings today? Actually, let's open it up in here. I'll get rid of Propel and Athabascan. And we're going to put in SIA. All right, let's take a look here. So this is, of course, your Sienna Senior Living right here. Here we go. Here we are. Yeah, here's their earnings. And they've been doing pretty good. Well, okay, they've had a little bit of a retracement here, but this is a sector I'm very bullish about. So you look at SIA, you look at Extendicare, there's a bunch of different ones, but anybody who is doing long-term care, this is a sector that the demand is only going to get higher and higher for, because guess what? The baby boomers, yeah, they've retired, but now they're getting to that age where they might need that little bit of extra help. Maybe they need to go into a long-term care home, you know, or maybe they need a wheelchair that's converted into an electric wheelchair. So, you know, we're talking about Chair. That's another company. But yeah, I think this is going to be good. Now, here's the interesting thing is if we take a look here. So this here is SIA. Let's take a look at them over here for a second. And I bet you this is going to look pretty good. I'm thinking this is going to look pretty good. All right, let's pull it up here and let's quickly we'll grab the 6 month. Oh yeah, look at this. So obviously they're reporting from here to right down here, October 31st. Yeah, so basically here, this nice little move to the upside is the area that they're reporting. So that doesn't mean everything's going to be good, but it does mean that there's a really good chance. They were really strong in that time frame, as was Extendicare. So I'm expecting these to be pretty good earnings. I expect pretty good earnings. We'll see if we get them, but I think you should be happy, Lisa. I think you should be happy. Scott, I thought today was going to be the day that Microsoft and Google turn it around. I know. Let's see. Okay, Brian's saying in reality the U.S. was the better team. Okay. All right, well, you know what? If the U.S. was the better team and then they won, then yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. It was a decent goal. And I don't like the 3-on-3 overtime in the Olympics. Yeah. Well, I think the reason they do that is they really don't want to go to a shootout. I think they want the they want the goal. Let's see. Hey, Candace, did you ever get back into ALV? Seems to be doing well now. All right, let's take a look. Let's take a look at ALV, Alpha Petro. All right, here we go. ALV, Alpha Petro Energy. All right, let's pull them up. Well, I think, and yeah, this is kind of this is kind of the area that shook a lot of people out of ALV. But yeah, pretty much since Liberation Day. I mean, yeah, you get a little bit of sideways, but they have done a little bit better. They've been moving back up. I like that. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean ALV. Now the interesting thing they've got, like, look at this, guys. 6.765% dividend. So they've actually got a pretty good dividend. So you are getting some income with this one. I do like them. I do like Alva Petro. And I actually had them in the challenge, but I sold them. I could see what was coming. I could see that this was coming. So I sold them. I think it was probably somewhere in this area around this spike before the second spike, or it might even have been in the valley between the spikes. But yeah, but now I'm actually pretty bullish this year on energy. So some of the plays that I'm using, well, I'm pretty much using. I think on energy, I'm pretty much using 2 plays in the challenge. So one, of course, is XEG. So here's your iShares capped energy. So this is, of course, an income play. But let me show you the last year on them. They've been doing, like once here, Liberation Day. They've been doing great. They've been growing. The other that I've been using, and this is my income play. I've been on ENCL here. And we'll pull up the 1 year on them. But once again, this one I don't really have a lot of expectations for growth. But they have done okay in the last little while. So this is going to be interesting. And it's actually going to be very interesting to see. Like I'm half tempted tomorrow to make a swing play. So outside of my regular trading, I'm almost tempted to put a swing trade on an oil property. Probably, well, I'll probably do it on like maybe XEG, because if we do get this war, if it breaks out on the weekend, that could be that could be some interesting profits. But I'm still kind of debating. I'll let you guys know. I mean, if we have a show tomorrow, I'll let you know whether or not I'm going to go ahead with it. But I'm thinking about it. All right. Michael says, Pegs, news where funds buying, but that Tiger has 2 funds bought the same week. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we've talked about Tiger. I don't know about Pegs. What is Pegs? I'm pretty sure you've mentioned Pegs before, but I just forget what they are. Let's take a gander here. There it is, Peg Seguro Digital, right here. Okay, they had a good day, actually, up 4.25, considering considering the day that the S&P 500 had. Well, take a look. Nope, that's not them. This is them. Nice and red. So, that's actually not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. We'll pull back here to Peg Seguro. Yeah, so financial technology solutions, micro merchants, yeah. So that's kind of an interesting thing. They're also in Brazil too, which is kind of neat. But yeah, so far, and that's the thing. I mean, there are some companies especially software companies that, yeah, if you offer a software product, I think that's kind of the definitive line. If you offer a software product, there is that possibility that AI could come along and just make it kind of obsolete. So we'll have to see. We're gonna see. We'll see what's going on. But all right, now where were we at here? Pathfinder. On the long-term chart, ALV hasn't popped here yet, I believe. What are your thoughts? The long-term charts. Okay, let's go back. We'll go back to ALV here. Let's see here. All right. That's ENCL, XEG, ALV. All right, well, let's, you know what? Let's go all the way, we'll go all the way back to 10 years. So yeah, when you look at 10 years, I mean, this is you know, they were, heck, they used to be a penny stock for the longest time. Back in, well, back 2018 and so. But yeah, they had, I mean, this was kind of an epic. This was kind of an epic growth, all the way up. And then they, of course, they had a retraction. When you look at it from on a longer term, you can sort of see, oh, okay, yeah, that's actually not that bad. So if you kind of, even if you were to look at this and just look at the slope that this is, it's this part here is kind of a continuation of what it was doing before all of this happened. And of course, this was all happening. So this big buildup, you know, it's around the beginning, sort of in the early parts, not the early parts, but I'd say the mid parts of the pandemic. Oil was absolutely exploding. We had such, you know, at one point, I think we had $100 a barrel at one point. So, you know, a lot of oil companies experienced massive, massive growth. And this is kind of, when you put that into perspective, you know, this is kind of expected. And I kind of ignore things. I always like to say, okay, if we have one moment in history where we get this big explosive growth like this, if I cut it off, does the chart make sense? That's a question I like to say. And if you look at this one, yeah, it kind of does. Like if none of that happened and this had just continued its normal growth, you know what? It's kind of in line with where it should be. So to me, that's not that bad. So yeah, that's one of the things I like about this company. Let's see. Why not look at earnings every day on earnings that get in great picks? I think I probably do look at some earnings every day. I don't look at everything. But yeah, no, it's nice to looking at earnings, paying attention to what's going on. Yeah, it's definitely very important when you're looking at fundamentals. Because I always say too, when you're looking at a fundamental, when was that fundamental? If you're, you know, if a company's about to drop new fundamentals, so basically a new earnings report, and you're judging and you're making decisions on that company based on something that is 3 months old and about to be obsolete within a couple of days, sometimes it actually will make sense to wait for that report so that you can get in there, see what the earnings are doing, of course. All right, Mary says, let's hit 50. Oh, guys, are we not at 50? Are we not at 50? Let me check on the test box. Oh, boy. Oh, gosh. 43. Guys, you guys can do better. You guys can do better. I'm just saying. Probably not as good as the coffee, though. Let's see here. Elisa says, I bought in under $11 per share less than 3 years ago, 115% plus almost 9% yield on cost, kicking myself for not buying more. Yeah, I hear ya. I hear ya. Let's see. I hit like on my way in, Mary, says Wahipple. Let's see. Sorry, up 115%. Pegs likes credit cards and prepaid. Yeah, exactly. There we go. DLO almost the same like pegs. All right. Mary says knew you would. Hipple. I think she accidentally called you a hippie, but yeah, hey, why not? Yeah, the Nightbot once again, guys, it is still active. Michael says ALV announces a dividend of 87 this morning. Nice. All right, Perlovia. Candace, I would love to see you do a workshop on day swing trading. Let's see here. I average around $1,000 a day profit doing just that and would love to share and learn more. I call it day swinging. Okay, there you go. Michael says 80 companies report after the close in after hours. Yeah. But once again, this is the thing. I don't have the time to look at 80 companies every day. I wish I did. I wish I did, but I gotta make videos. I gotta edit videos. Maybe someday when I got 100,000 subs and you know, and I'm getting 20,000 views every video and making a little bit of money, I could hire someone to do a lot of that other stuff for me, and I can look at more companies. I can look at more companies for sure. Let's see. All right, in your view, who would be the main winners and losers if the Fed unexpectedly cut rates by 50 basis points this summer, and why? Boy, you. It's like I feel like you took some time to compose this one. All right, 50 points. Who would be the winners? That's, well, in many ways, I think anybody who has a good amount of debt would obviously be a winner. So we're talking homeowners, and we're talking just average Americans. They would certainly be better off. It's also good for the stock market. Lower rates means lower borrowing costs. Lowering borrowing costs allows companies to, well, if they're looking to expand, that's a good thing. They're looking to, or if they're looking to pay off debt, that's not a bad thing either to have a lower debt. Or if they're just looking to take on debt at the same time. So I think overall, yeah, I think the market would benefit. I think a lot of people would benefit. Some lenders, maybe not. Some lenders, they're not going to, it might cut a little bit into their income, but it depends. It's kind of that interesting thing. So when you look at the banks, so for example, look at the Canadian banks. Canadian banks did fine, even though we had quite a bit of rate cuts in the last little while. And that meant, of course, that means that the banks, their prime lending rates, those went down. So they're making a little bit less interest. But you always got to balance it with the other side. The other side is that because the rates came down, there were less people who were getting into situations where they were being foreclosed on, whether it be whether it be mortgages, whether it be credit cards. So people were able to make their minimum payments, and that also benefits the bank. So it works both ways. It's kind of that interesting thing. Um, I I actually think it would be nice to see the U.S. rate. I don't know if I'd like to see it come down by 50, but I'd like it to at least come down another 25. Now, I don't think it's going to happen this time around, unfortunately, but I do think there is the possibility by the summer we could see 25, but I don't think we'll see 50. I don't think we will. Now, Trump would like to see a lot larger cut. He'd like to see the rates just slashed because, well, it would help the stock market, of course. And for him, his view of the economy tends to be if the stock market's doing well, then he's doing well with the economy. Even though that may not absolutely that isn't really true, but that just seems to be the way that he appreciates that. I was reading a comment as I was reading it. Or I wasn't reading a comment, it was in my eyes and the word appreciate was there. But that just is kind of how he kind of views things. So yeah, it's an interesting thing. It's an interesting thing. But I think that's a good enough answer, at least for now. At least for now. I might change my mind by the summer. Who knows? Let's see. ALV missed on their earnings 3 out of the last 4 quarters. Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of struggling in that sector for a long time. So I'm hoping they can turn that around a little bit. Now, I've always kind of thought that their dividend was a little higher than I perhaps would have if I was running the company. I don't think I would be paying a dividend quite that high, but I still like the company. Let's see. Now, here's the appreciate that I accidentally caught in my view as I was trying to answer Marina. Mary, I appreciate you. I just remembered to hit the like button, and thank you, Candace. That's what I thought about the ALV long-term chart. Perfect. Love it when we all pull together. All right, let's see. Hi, Candace. Could you please take a look at VNP? So 5N Plus Inc. They operate in the engineered material space, and earnings are coming out in 5 days. All right, let's look at VNP. VNP. All right, here we go. VNP. So here we go. 5N Plus Inc. Oh, they're having a good day today. They're up 2.264%. All right, let's take a look. First of all, well, this is not bad. This is not bad at all. I do like this. They've definitely had some pretty solid growth. I wonder what happened here. Well, hard to say. Some kind of catalyst definitely pushed them up here. And as you mentioned before, So let's see, ultra pure materials often form the core of elements for its customers' products. Let's see, performance, sustainability, proven technologies, manufacture. All right, okay. Oh, I probably should have just read the first part. This is what I was looking for right here. Specialty semiconductor and performance materials. Okay, yeah. I think this is a sector that, yeah, I think this is something that they're probably going to be in demand for. Obviously, semiconductors are used in a lot of things, including some of the AI infrastructure. So that's not a bad thing at all. So they're making the right products. They're making the right products. That is great. Um, they've already shown some really good growth. That is great. Let's take a look at the back end and see what we got going on here. Oh, this is good. Return on equity, 26.29%. So it is, yeah, it's up there. It is up there. So 26.29. I love any company that has more than 20%. So that's what I can say. Their debt to equity, it's a little bit on the higher side at 76%, but it's still okay. I don't usually get too hung up if they can keep it under one. So when I say one, as in 100%, not bad. So yeah, this company, yeah, I think there's a chance they could have a half decent earnings. I think there is absolutely a chance. All right, now guys, holy banana bread. we got 5 gifted subs coming in from Marina. So guys, that right there is tomorrow's show. We got tomorrow's show. Now, we got some goats to watch. Now, and here's the first question, guys. As I said, here's our normal first goat. It's our evil Monopoly goat. Now, I was messing around today, and I made another Monopoly goat. Let me show you the other one, and tell me which one you like better. And we'll, so here we go.
Feeling lucky?
Let's
Watch
play
this.
Other one.
11.
See if you
Always
like
a stylish start.
First one.
Care to roll along?
This one doesn't look as cute. I would say that. This one's just, but it's basically, the first one was made with Sora. The second one was made with Sora 2. So that's part of our GOAT squad. Now, while you guys are deciding which one of those you like better, let me bring out the rest of the cast. So we got our Bell Goat, or Bay Street Goat. And my favorite is this one here. It is Space Goat. So I love Space Goat. And we also have a Math Goat or Professor Goat. And we have our Seasonal Goat. And that right now is currently a Curling Goat. I do need to get, I gotta get a Hockey Goat together pretty fast here, because I know the big game is coming up, at least the men's, now that the women are kind of out of it. That's coming up on, I think, Sunday. So we should have a winner, hopefully, by the time the stream starts. So those are our goats. We of course have our laughing goats. If one of you guys tells a joke that's funny, I'll bring out the laughing goat. And we also looked earlier. We looked at the party goat again, because we had that. That was for the celebration stream. But I'll keep the party goat. We'll use it for some special occasions. But there we go. Holy banana bread! That was a lot of goats. But Marina has single-handedly resurrected the entire goat squad. So there we go. I'm turning off the thing. Now, if that wasn't enough, we have Sid coming in with a super chat, $2.79. I am out of goats. I'm out of goats. I could replay a goat, or maybe for Sid, we'll bring in the Canadian beaver. So we got ourselves a beaver. What can I say? Now I'm officially out, other than the laughing goat. But one of you guys has to tell me and guys, if you really want to make me laugh, you gotta have dry humor. Dry humor is where I definitely excel. All right, now Sid had a question as well. In your opinion, which cash ETF is best? So we got T-Cash, we got cash. So there's a lot of them, to be honest. So let's take a look. For example, let's take a look at. All right, we'll pull this up. We'll start with Tcash. All right, so Tcash, this is the TD one. All right, now the way these work, of course, is here. Let me pull up the 1 year. Basically, they just do the same thing over and over again. So basically, I always buy, if I'm getting into one of these, I buy on the ex-dividend date. And then that way there, anytime during the month, if I do cash it out sooner because I need it, I'm at least getting some of that dividend. So, and that's the thing. Now you'll look at a dividend, and this is kind of deceiving, and I want to say why. So right now, you look at this. This dividend is 2.987%. All right. Let's duplicate this, and let's bring up the other one, cash. All right, and cash. Once again, this is the Global X one. It does the same thing. You can sort of see. There you go. You got all of your things. Although it does seem to have come down a little bit. Right now you can get in at 49, but it's still pretty much close. And you'll look here and you'll see 2.511%. All right, so 2.5, 2.9. So Tcash has got to be better, right? Maybe, maybe not. And I'll tell you why. This is a trailing yield. It's the average over the last 12 months. So you got to pretty much look and see how they're doing. So for example, this one here, so this is cash. Cash has been, well, what did I click on? I did not click on what I meant. Oh, I clicked on trade history, key data. And you can take a look and sort of see. In this case here right now, they've been paying 0.97 or 0.097. So that gives you a general idea. So what I would do is I would take that number and I would work out the total return based on that number, because it seems to be where they're at right now. And I would then look at Tcash, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to pull up, here we go, key data, and let's see. So they're currently paying 0.1, so they're still up in the 0.1. So right away, I'm looking at that, and I'm like, oh, that might be, so they're going to be close. They're going to be a lot closer than what those two yields would say. So I look at it that way. Now, if that's what your plan is, I mean, and you know what? Sometimes it's like splitting hairs, whether it be Tcash, Cash, PSA, NSAV. They're all going to be very, very close. And it's going to be like splitting hairs once you actually do the calculation. So with all of that being said, and I just wanted to sort of give you a general idea of why they're going to be closer than they appear when you look at those dividend yields. The reality is you're getting into it usually for a short-term purpose, unless you're putting, for example, if you're putting your emergency fund into it, that's a different story. But if you're putting money in there that you're planning to keep and hold it until the next dip, or maybe you're holding it for the bear market, you're not going to be in there for that long, so you're really not going to make, it's not like you're going to make a big difference, whichever one you go with. So that's just something to keep in mind. So which one is better? I do think it's splitting hairs. I think they're both really, really good. So I would not really say you'd be fine, I think, with either. Like, I think they're both just as good. And that's how I would look at it. All right. And once again, thank you for the super chat. Perlovia, check out phx.t if you're thinking about an energy stock. Should war erupt or not? Yes, PHX Energy. So PHX Energy, right here, PHX. Here we go, PXH Energy. And, and they've also, they've been doing really good lately. They've been a little more flat. Like, if you notice, a lot of the other ones we looked at, it's been mostly straight up since Liberation Day. They've been a little more over the board. But here's the thing. This is partially why they do have a bigger dividend. And actually, what's really interesting is you've got an 8.8% dividend, and it is quarterly. So, they almost feel like an income stock, a quarterly income stock. But I do like them. I do like PHX Energy, though. I will say that. Um, and yeah, they could certainly. There's a lot of them that could do well. And the reason I would go with something like XCG is just because that way there I'm not waging on any one particular company. I'm just waging on something that has a good mix across the board. Let's see. Second, Party Goat. Yeah, we have a Party Goat. Let's see. My broker and I are working on a retirement plan. Unfortunately, it's his. Oh no. Wait a minute. Mark, Mark. You're not actually doing that. You're trying to make me laugh. Ah, should I lower the bar to this one? This one made me groan. You know what? Yeah, it made me groan. All right, Mark. You can have the laughing goat. You can have it. There you go. You made the effort. You made the effort. It was worth it. Ian says, you need a disappointed goat for when someone tries to make you laugh but fails. Oh, other than that's, I don't want to put you down. Like if you make an attempt to make me laugh and you fail, I don't want to put you down for it because I still want you to make another attempt and next time just succeed. Like jokes are subjective, but actually there was a contest. And this was years ago where they tried to find the funniest joke in the world. And one joke did win. One joke won. And you guys have probably heard this joke. I'll tell it. I will tell it anyway. So a guy out in the woods, he's a hunter. He's out there and he's with his buddy. His buddy's lying on the ground. And I don't know what's going on with his buddy, but he calls 911 and he says, "Oh my God, I think my buddy here is dead." And they were like, "Oh my God, all right, we need to be sure." So the 911 operator hears a big bang and he says, "Yep, okay, we're sure." Anyway, that was apparently the funniest joke in the world. Ah, okay. maybe there's some merit to it. Oh gosh. All right. I'm one of these rare people that I can tell a joke and I can laugh at it at the same time. Max says, "Good afternoon, everyone." A sad trombone goat. There we go. Let's see. Lisa says, "I was scrolling Facebook today and saw a post saying no one should use AI to make silly pictures because of the footprint it leaves. It sounded like a huge virtue signal to me." And they're probably talking about the carbon footprint. Yeah, I mean, it does take some energy to make things, but here's the thing. If everybody only did things that had zero carbon footprint, well, we'd all be living in caves, and we'd have to go out and eat plants and maybe club a squirrel or something for a meal, but you wouldn't be able to cook it. Yeah. I don't know. You know, I don't like to, I don't go out of my way to try to wreck the planet or anything like that. But the best, and here's the thing, interesting thing about AI too, and this is maybe what people aren't thinking about, is that AI could very well help us find a lot of interesting ways. Because I mean, obviously, somewhere's down the line, you want obviously people would love to have net zero when it comes to carbon, but if AI could help us improve some of the carbon capture technologies, there's that possibility somewheres down the road we could even have a negative carbon footprint. So, you know, I just say let AI grow, let AI learn. Because AI has already solved many little things. A lot of the protein folding things have been solved, and it's going to be a huge. It's going to be a huge thing for science. So, yeah, I'm okay with it. I'm kind of okay with it. Pathfinder, let's see. ALV is printing cash. Since they are debt free, they use half their profits for expansion and the other half for the dividend. However, the amount they bring in is based on Brent. Yeah, okay, absolutely. So yeah, and Brent, of course, that's the Western Brent. It's actually Canadian. No, Brent. I was thinking of Canadian Western Select. All right, never mind. But yeah, Brent's another oil pricing unit as well. Ian says, I would not be disappointed to get the disappointed goat. Be like a new achievement unlocked. Ooh, that's what we need is achievement goats. Oh boy. Down the goat hole, I guess. Scott, I've been avoiding REIT, but NXR.UN has looked pretty tempting to me lately. Is that Nexus? I think they're called Nexus REIT, but I could be wrong. Let's just take here. NXR. Yeah, Nexus Industrial REIT. So yeah, this is one of those REITs that I think are at least in a sector where they're going to do okay. So industrial, um, any kind of REIT that, once again, long-term care. If it has anything to do with long-term care homes, there we go. I'm learning to talk today, apparently. Those will do okay. Those will definitely do okay. But yeah, let's take a look at this over the last year. And you can see since Liberation Day, yeah, they've had some pretty good movement to the upside for sure. And you're getting a good dividend here, like it's 8.101%. So that's not too shabby. So yeah, I like this one. Nexus REIT for sure. All right, guys, we've got minutes left, maybe a little bit longer. If you got your last minute questions, get them on in. Get them on in right away. I'll answer them. But type fast because time is running out. We normally go about an hour and a half. We're at an hour 26, hour 27. But if you guys overwhelm me with questions, you never know what happens. Even last night's stream, we were supposed to go exactly 10,000 seconds. We went a little longer. We were playing games. I got to admit, though, guys, one thing I was super, super impressed with is that when I was putting together 10 games for last night's stream, I was trying to think, okay, well, I need them to be long enough that when we put them all together, it equals 10,000 seconds. So we were maybe, 5 minutes past the 10,000 seconds? So that actually wasn't really bad. That wasn't bad at all. And mind you, it wasn't really the games because, you guys were all super chatty at the end of the stream. Like there was a lot of, oh gosh, there was a lot of super stickers and things like that. And I definitely appreciate all of that. But that was pretty cool. Let's see. Brian says, I'm in at NXR at 609 a share for 400 shares. 609, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Let's see, where is... Oh, you got in way, way back here. Did you actually get down to 609 during the pandemic? So you must have got in, like, I think here, I'm just looking at the lows. Oh yeah, you might have gotten in during the pandemic. It broke down there a couple of times. Lisa said the person who posted about the AI footprint received a pretty good argument back from one of their Facebook friends. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's kind of one of these things. It's like, quite literally, I don't think you can. Here's the thing: I don't think you can stop AI at this point. It's going to happen. The AI, I know some people like to call it AI slop, and heck, I'm guilty of watching some AI slop. I watched a family of cats, entirely AI generated, having a little adventure. Like the mom was out trying to shovel snow, and the kids built Lego plows and went out and helped. Yeah, 100% Lego slop, but Lego slop, AI slop, but it kind of amused me. And I'm like, you know what? If it amuses me, why not? And, and you got to keep in mind, too, these people, like that person who says, oh, you can't do that because AI is using too much power. I'm sure they go to the movies. I'm sure they go watch some of the big blockbusters from Hollywood. Those have quite a footprint, especially if it's a movie where they're blowing things up. You have to sort of, I like the idea, like I think that there's a way, like I don't think we have to give up all of our modern conveniences. I think what we really, and I'm a firm advocate of this. Let's find better technologies. Let's find ways to do the same thing, but a little cleaner. Let's find ways to do better carbon capture. And there you go. Because we can pull the carbon ourselves out of the atmosphere, and we already know how to do it. And we just put it back in the ground. where it was originally, just in a different form. All right. Ian says, I used to buy my girlfriend these yogurt cups. I dumped her today. Tried one of those cups. They're really good. Oh, oh dear. Ian. Yep. Now, did you dump her because you wanted to try it, or it just wasn't working out? Just let's see. Perlovia, remember, fellow investors, enjoy the dance like a swing trade. Have a great night. Thank you, Candace. You're welcome. And Brian says, in my RRSP NXR at 574, I've had it for years. That's a really good entry point, too. And Doorpat saying, thanks a lot, Marina, for the membership. Yeah, I don't know who all got them, but I love seeing it. And of course, as a new member, we have a new feature we have for the members is, and this is kind of an interesting thing I've been thinking about, and I'll talk about it on Monday night. We have our office hours, so there's something I want to run by the channel members. So we'll do that Monday night. See what you guys think, or maybe I'll throw it in the chat. But it's pretty good. Let's see here. She just wasn't working out. Okay, fair enough. Sometimes it's not a bad thing to cut your losses. That's for sure. PRL got smoked today. Uh-oh. Oh, boy. All right, guys. Holy banana bread. All right. Well, I'm going to cut it short now. No, it's not cutting it short. We're actually 2 minutes over what we normally go. I'll be back again tomorrow. We're going to do this all over again. Let's see what type of day we got tomorrow, and we'll see if I'm going to make an oil play too, because, oh gosh, I really don't want the war, but actually, where is Larry? Larry, you didn't show up. I wanted to know more about your war predictions. Oh, well. All right, guys, we will be back here again tomorrow. So before I go, I got two little things I wanted to quickly say, and that is, well,